Constitution, Anna made this tempo speech. Cut section. From morning, I woke up towards the travel to Madras University. I received around 17 calls from my constituency people about electricity issues, about sewage line issues, about road, about the civic issues, and we're going to conduct a people welfare camp called Ungloden Stalin, which is going to be started in another 2 to 3 years. Is on the way. I have to visit that camp. As a people representative, people voices, addressing the civic issues and coming here. Now we are having an ideological discussion. Imagine our being politics has been expressed in such a state that we have to address the local issues of the people. That is the way the politics is being presented all over rest of the country. But there is a unique type of laid politics. It has been taught to the people of Tamil Nadu. You've been listening from yesterday's lecture. You are being exposed to a different world altogether. The words, the sentences, lectures expressed here are being reflected into the common man? That's a basic common question. Do the issues what we speak here, does it reflect the masses of Tamil Nadu? It's an issue. Yes or no? It's the answer we have to derive at the end of this discussion. You remember, every people belong to a tribe or clan as we evolved from civilizations over riverbeds, tribes as Homo sapiens, from hunt-gatherers to agrarian farming population, where language was spoken, evolved over a period of time. And each and every tribe has its own culture and a tradition to follow it. And we all originated from tribes. So each and every tribe has always had some collective memory. Collective memory, I would say ancestral memory, which has been impregnated in our genetic framework. The collective memory of our language, the collective memory of tradition, passed down to generations in the form of any type of ritual or any type of habit forming during birth ceremonies, marriage ceremonies. But the sustainability, collective memory, is only through the language, right? The language what we speak. Now I'm communicating to a tribe in a language which is alien to the tribe, supposed to be alien to this tribe, but we made it very specific to communicate in an English language because the penetration should be wider. And the conference is based in English for the other world to understand, the unaware world to understand, right? So it is being used as a communication arm. But in spite of that, there is an inherent traditional or genetic or cultural value for a language, for the mother tongue, what we speak. That's a collective memory. So if one tribe wants to eradicate another tribe, the first step they do is they want to remove this collective memory from you. That has been a strategy for many tribes world over. Suppose I want to invade a tribe, yes, by brutal force, yes, by invasion, yes, but by permeation, I completely remove your identity out. I make your identity disappear from your mind. Is I do a language warfare. I do a cultural invasion. I impose my dominant narrative to you and you make you accept that narrative is your narrative. As common people, we have been exposed to many such invasions, especially this clan. But somewhere down the line, various champions have recollected the memory to protect our identity, right? So that is the crux of the Dravidian movement. They are able to revamp, recollect your memory your cultural memory and identity memory. That's what the Dravidian movement did for the memory which has been perished, which was made to perish, which may be made to destroy it. Recollecting that. Just recollection is enough. So when you recollect that primitive memory, what will happen? You'll bring on the ritualistic traditions, out-of-dated traditions along with that. So my purpose is to bring a memory of your linguistic thought process. At the same time, I want to filter certain age-old traditional practices which is not relevant to the current scenario, which is an outdated superstitious beliefs has to be eradicated. Not only that, the tribe which imposed certain superstitions so that our brain get enslaved, we have to remove it. So scientific temper, rationalism was brought into play. First, to attain you self-respect, to recollect your memory. Second, with scientific temper education, cleansing the superstitious beliefs, cleansing the various ritual-based, scripture-based, guided hierarchical system from your mindset, and making you as an unit for progressiveness, for the future to hold, and getting converted into a socio-political organization. It's a huge Herculean task, never happened in any part of the subcontinent, any part of the world, except for southern land of a Dravidian land. Imagine going to a commoner, going to a village area, and doing the Herculean task of removing the established conventions which has been followed for 2000 years in the name of God, in the name of scriptures, in the name of religion. Cleansing that authoritative mind with a lot of resistance, then giving them examples, historical examples, worldwide examples of various liberation movements of the external world to a small village hamlet, reorganizing them to recollect their identity, self-respect, and make them as a hybrid group to speak what politics is for. Imagine the pain what the movement would have undergone as a social movement led by Periyar and a social political movement led by Anna. Now, my friends, research scholars, PhD friends, give me examples where this combinations of multiple tasks has taken place for any social political movements. If you take the liberation movements of Russian Revolution, it was a working class struggle makes up based on Marxian ideology, right? The agenda was very clear. And on one spectrum, workers of the entire world unite together, throwing away the capitalistic principles. Yes, one dimension. The revolution done by China, Mao did a peasant march, again based on Marxian ideologies for that traditional Chinese population. Yes. French Revolution, the principles of equality, fraternity, and universal brotherhood with libertic principles, removing the aristocratic class, or the American War of Independence against a colonial British. Come on, man, look upon here. We have done a social, cultural, linguistic, and a political reorientation for the common man to participate in this struggle. So this type of distinction has to be established in our minds to understand the political trajectory what we speak now. So this type of political trajectory should be viewed in this background. An MLA fighting one more MLA, a corrupt MLA fighting uncorrupt MLA, the local councillor issues. That politics has been repeatedly fed into you because you will forget on what nature the social, cultural, linguistic, political formations happening in Tamil Nadu. That's happening now. Because if they want to remove your thought process, They'll bring in many players in the form of religion. They create pseudo champions. They create pseudo heroes present to you. They use these leaders as just labels, just as labels. But what content the respective leaders spoke of? So as a representative of my political party, I started my speech with Peraring Anna's, what do you say, a speech which is brought in the Secession Act. A speech which is against the sovereignty of this nation. But here in Madras University, as a people representative, my allegiance to the Constitution, I'm speaking about a speech of self-determination. That's the difference, my friends. That's the ethos, the social, cultural, political ethos with my ancestors of Periyar, Anna, Kalaignar has transferred to myself. So what politics Tamil Nadu will speak when compared to rest of India? Corruption-free politics. Yeah, we had a party called Aam Aadmi. You know what happened to it, right? Linguistic identity. We know what happened to Shiv Sena political parties in Maratha. We know the idealistic nationalist politics, colonial struggle politics of Congress. Yes. We saw many of the post-JP Janata Dal movements, post-Mandal, based on social justice alone. We have a political party, a ruling disposition on center, based on majority in religious identity, understanding the minorities as foreign citizens, alien citizens, with language imposition tendencies to forget our cultural identity and political dimension. Come on, friends, identify a party which speaks about scientific temper, which speaks about social transformation, which speaks about social justice, which speaks about state autonomy. These were the ideals of one political party. Now, it is a politics of Tamil Nadu. If you go to, my friends, if you go to interact with many of your college students elsewhere, what Tamil Nadu speaks, guys, you're the right guys to speak about social justice. Your land is a motherland of social justice, right? Then another person from Bengal may say, come on guys, you are the guys who speaks for state autonomy. You are against the unitary structure of the union government. You are the guys who speak boldly about state rights, about state autonomy. One more UP friend will come on and say, guys, you are the temple tones of secularism. For you, Muslims, Christians are like brotherhoods. The secularism principles is impregnated as a way of life as Tamils. Such a peaceful environment. You're teaching the entire country how secularism should be adopted. Now, reading the Anna's speech, now they're saying, guys, you are the protectors of the Constitution. You are the principal protectors of the Constitution. The Constitution which envisages secularism, socialism, democratic republic is being protected from religious hegemony or religious dominant forces. You are the guys who are protecting the Constitution. So, give me the tick forms of any of the politics or any of the political parties which have all the tick marks. Now you talk about the same road issues, same EB issues, same local issues. Because apart from the welfare measures, apart from the People Reach program, this politics has been taught not in the elite institutions or teaching institutions as a conference is taking place. These fundamental principles of social justice, secularism, linguistic protection were being taught to the common man. That's the success of Tamil Nadu. The common people, common man, even if he's not particularly educated in various institutions, he'll know what the politics of Tamil Nadu is. If any political party in Tamil Nadu goes against the principles of secularism, they'll be moved out. If any political party in Tamil Nadu speaks against our linguistic protection and promotes and language or Sanskrit language or Hindi language on us, which imposes, we'll remove them out. Any word against social justice program, we'll throw them out. Any voices against federalism or state autonomy or state rights, we'll throw them out. This politics, what I speak in rest of India is within confined to the elites. The political trajectory in Tamil Nadu, they converted this elite syllabus into a common man syllabus. You can very well go to your mom, your grandparent, or your dad, or the barber shop in your street, or a tea stall owner in your street. He'll speak this politics in his own language. ஆமாங்க, நம்மளாம் ஒன்று தான். ரம்ஜானுக்கு நம்ம பிரியாணி சாப்பிடுவோம், கிறிஸ்மஸ்க்கு நம்ம பிரியாணி சாப்பிடுவோம், பொங்கலை எல்லாரும் செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுறோம். தட் இஸ் அ வாய்ஸ் ஆஃப் செக்குலரிசம், ரைட்? அதே எப்படி தமிழ் மொழி இருக்கீங்க, ஏன் அந்த மொழி நம்ம திணிக்கணும்? நம்ம இங்கிலீஷும் தமிழும் கற்றுக்கிட்டு நம்ம பசங்க இங்கிலீஷில் சர்வதேச அளவில் போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. எதுக்கு நான் வந்து தேவையில்லாத ஹிந்தி படிக்கிற இங்கே வந்து டைல்ஸ் விட்டுட்டு இருக்காங்க, இங்கே வந்து பானிபூரி வித்துட்டு இருக்காங்க, இதை வந்து எங்கள் மேலே திணிக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னு we have seen voices, the voices of the common man which speaks about linguistic protection. இது நம்ம பண்பாடு, நம்ம கலாச்சாரம், இதை நான் பாதுகாப்பாக இருக்கணும். நான் எல்லாரும் சகோதரத்துவமாக பழகுவேன், எஸ், but I'll protect my identity. Is there? We'll see Anita, case of Anita, right? An MBBS aspirant, based on 12th standard marks, she would have become a doctor by now. Because of a draconian union government NEET exam, she's been punished, even in spite of getting good marks. So we are all having a sympathy towards Anita and Anita-related type of youth, because we oppose the NEP, we oppose NEET, because social justice program is impregnated in our mind. Who did that? Who did that? Who impregnated these basic values of social justice, atheism, rationalism into our mind? Most of the people are believers, right? We are all believers. We have a one belief system, but it will be personal. We will never, as Tamils, as Dravidians talk, we will never confuse religious affairs into public affair, right? If anyone speaks about politics involving gods in a public space, we say that fellow is doing something wrong, right? How can they do politics in my personal affair with my relationship with a religion of a value stream? If he uses that belief system as a self-interested system into a political affair, we throw them out, because we very well know that person is using your belief system for his personal good. So we will always try to separate personal affair from public affairs, right? So who educated us to view things as if now we are viewing things? Some type of education would have gone, right? Some type of orientation has gone, right? Yes, that is the orientation program Dravidian forefathers transferred to us. Come on, guys, view your world in a scientific temper fashion. There's something called social justice has to be summated to remove the caste inequalities which has been done for 2,500 years. Come on, guys, learn any language you want to, but if anyone imposes a language, oppose that. Come on, guys, we are known for our secular principles. We are like brotherhood and fraternity. Personal belief systems are different. Public has a difference. See a dichotomy view. So that education is a very strong education which has been social education, not happened in the classrooms. It happened in political meetings. It happened in social meetings. It happened in common man places. And that's why we are a reform state. And that is the essence, we are a progressive state. If not for that effort of 125 years, imagine what status we would have been. What status would have been? If any of the MPs belonging to one political party coming to a school and says, Hanuman is the first one to enter space. If the same statement, if an MP has expressed in Tamil Nadu, what would have happened? Now we are laughing, my friends. You're laughing at a political ME representing a political party who's ruling at the center. What made the guts for you to laugh? That guts is the Dravidian system. We ridicule. We have a cynicism. We use humor approach in all formats to eradicate these types of weeds from our political framework and social framework. So the political trajectory is, it's about making people understand these are the core values of any political dispensation in Tamil Nadu. If you want to be a politician in Tamil Nadu, yes, you have to be secular. If you want to be a politician in Tamil Nadu, yes, you have to be a linguistic protection man. If you want to be a politician in Tamil Nadu, you should be a champion of social justice. If you want to be a politician in Tamil Nadu, you have to be a secular person. Otherwise, people won't vote for you. So social movements basically orient the crowd, or they orient the common man, they orient the common public into a trajectory. Politicians, what they'll do? They'll act according to the people, whims and fancies, right? So we are the outcomes of people choices. But who changed the thought process of the people? So we have a strong social movement with sustained civil society reformation agenda going at the ground level. And we have a political dispensation based upon those principles to maintain that. Both are synonymous and both are essential. If the social organization is getting weak, the thought process of people, again, it will be imposed, invaded, as our forefathers were succumbed to the designs of so-called superstitious beliefs and traditions in the name of nationality, in the name of religious protection, in the name of we are all belong to the majority and sect, we have been affected. All type of false propaganda will be infiltrating and instilling you. Again, we'll be going back 2,500 years back. As our Anurag Thakur MP has said to a PMC school, that Hanuman was the first man in the space, right? Or they'll say, we had Modi waves equal to Einstein waves. Then they'll say that the cloning was diagnosed with 1,500 years back. We detected cloning strategies because of elephant statue in one head. Theories of reality are primitive. We have flown aeroplanes long time back, 1,500, 2,500 acts. We'll be a laughing stock. Why I'm not a laughing stock? Because I'm a Dravidian stock, right? So the Dravidian ethos is preventing me to go into those falsy designs and propaganda being reinforced repeatedly on us. So social movement, vital role. Why political movement is necessary? Because in order to convert these social values into reality, we need a political system within the framework of Indian Constitution to protect the Constitution and the principles of secularism, to vouch for state autonomy, to protect our language, to prevent the imposition of one language in replacement of the present language which I'm speaking to, which is a global language, which is a development plank. Imagine when Anna started his dual language policy, what amount of projection he has made. In the year 1967, when two language policies was adopted by state government of Tamil Nadu, how many percentage of us were graduates? How much percentage of us went to abroad for various professional courses? How many percentage of us we were in very scientific positions or academic positions in various international universities? How many position of us, was there any software revolution at that point of time? So a leader projected that. A language which is my mother tongue to protect my identity. And my students have to be educated in one language which they be exposed to the external world, in the law, in business areas, in medicine, in every spectra. So that platform was established in 1967 itself of two-language policy. Now, in spite of globalization, software revolution, we were able to adapt and co-opt. Is because of what? It's because one man foresee that, the development plan, and we are here doing an English conference in Madras University because of two-language policy of Arigar Anna, right? Imagine the principles of social justice. Social justice, yes, on social prank, yes, we thought that everyone should be treated equal, and there's 2,500 years of caste inequality. But the representation of social justice program in education institutions and in government jobs, Kalankar adopted that in a very systematic fashion. Whenever the government come into play in 1971 to 76, OBC percentage was increased, scheduled caste percentage was increased, rural reservation was given in 96, 2001. Imagine 2006, 2011, we had Arundandiya inner reservation, we had minorities reservation. I'll just cite two examples. Yeah, I'll just say two examples. Coming to minority reservation. You know, Islamic women are quite very religious, orthodox nature is, we understood. They won't come for delivery at all in an hospital. Only a trained eyes used to deliver at home. Imagine how many number of children and mother would have died. But after advent of inner reservation, of Islamic reservation for Islamic women, lot of my Muslim friends, daughters, became doctors. And they are doing deliveries there. So the maternal mortality and infant mortality is reduced because of one reservation given. Imagine the inner reservation of Arundandiyas. See, Arundandiya population, what is the stigma in this country? Periyar used to say, what world it is? What do you say? Any say no, Seyum Torile Deyum. That is someone used to say, no? Kick him. Because for a doctor it's fine. What about a manual scavenger? So there's a segment of manual scavenging population which has been reinforced. I worked in government medical hospital, in general hospital. We have a population, Adi Andhra population working in railways. Used to come to GH, clean the toilets in GH and go back. Now after Arundandiya reservation, the same population are being doctors and professionals and assistant professors, deans of those medical colleges. So you need a political power to implement the social agenda of a social organization. So social justice program is very much within us. So we are able to remove the 2,500 years of oppression by giving education, by giving job opportunities, by giving a level playing ground. Imagine the counterpart. You know, All India Institute of Medical Science, AIIMS. It's in Delhi. It is an institute evolved in 1956. It's a central government institute. There is no reservation in AIIMS till 2006, from 1950 to 2006. Take the case of Madras Medical College, my institution. It had reservation from Justice Party days. It has a communal reservation Justice Party days. So it was an 100 years of reservation experiment, right? Let us assess the products of AIIMS. So far, 60 products of AIIMS products are not in India. They are working in UK and US health systems. Now, in Madras Medical College, 70 to 80% are serving the Tamil Nadu population, both in public and private. So why do you need reservation policy? I have to train my kith and kin in order to serve my kith and kin, right? My taxpayers' money are being invested to institute which trains people for systems abroad. So reservation component basically trains the people man, the son of the soil, to serve here, to serve the needy population. And we are champions of social justice, and that is a component which was achieved because of the political trajectory with a social backing, with the social values, right? When the union government brings a concept like CAA, we'll jump and oppose it. Secularism, our social values are there for to see people as neutral. Any type of discriminatory dominant practices we'll oppose. It's because of the social engineering component backing up politically. Our MPs in Rajya Sabha, our MPs in Lok Sabha, tooth and nail the opposed Waqf Board bill because it was discriminatory and it was designed for a hidden agenda. Right? We are opposing NEP. Tooth and nail. We are saying the NEP fellows, right? We have a Tamil Nadu education model. because of the Tamil Nadu education model is based on linguistic protection as well as social justice program. We have developed finest higher education institutes. We have the maximum number of medical college institutions. We have maximum number of engineering college institutions. We have maximum number of science and education colleges. Our gross enrollment ratio has crossed your target. Your target is 2030, man. Above 50, we have crossed already. So you emulate to this model. But they says, we won't copy that model. We'll bring in a model which is exactly antagonistic that. The NEP implementation ratio in Pondicherry or Uttar Pradesh, people are leaving the institutions, they're closing down schools. The gross enrollment ratio is falling down. But what's the purpose they are clinging on? Because it is very, very clear that when an MP in a PMC school says that the first space mission was Hanuman, they want the common man to be like idiots, but their sons will study in international institutes. So they're using that tool to make you dumb. But Tamil Nadu is the reverse way. Here we see people want to get educated. Come, my children. We have a scheme called Tamil Pudalvan system. We have a scheme called Pudumai Pen system. We have a 7.5 reservation for all the school-going children, government school-going children from 6th standard to 12th standard to enter in institutes. We pay a pocket money of 1,000 rupees. Morning time, 20 lakh children will be given nutritious breakfast to eradicate all the malnutrition, to eradicate the pain of the working woman who is going there, leaving the children in hunger status, going to work in a place. We give women a free ride, bus ride, have women empowerment and gender equality. We have 50% of their local body elections, mayors belonging to women category. So that type of women and gender justice program is always on the goal because Dravidian movement is an outcome and a social backing movement and side movement. So my friends, with this small note, I have just placed some values inside it. I understand any system has its own inefficiencies. I am not promoting I am the best system in the world, right? But you should also understand the more community participation or well-informed people into the political trajectory will cleanse the system. That is a completely different discussion altogether. But at the same time, in the process, don't replace a system with a pseudo-heroes, people doing politics in the name of religion, trying to take away the crush and success what you have achieved so far. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. It's time to felicitate Dr. Ellen, who delivered a very inspiring, a very academic orientation of Dravidian ideology. Doctor, thanks for inspiring faculty and students. It is a very inspiring talk today. Yeah, and we will take one or two questions. Doctor is very busy, but students, who have some questions are most welcome. 2 or 3 questions only. Before that, I request Professor Kalichelvi to honor our guest now. Dr. Olivanan will honor our guest with a shawl. Yeah, questions now. Very specific questions. Doctor's speech is a scientific approach to understanding Dravidian ideology, which has become a role model for entire India. So in that context, students are welcome to ask 1 or 2 questions now. Please, make it fast. It is
Yes, please.
yeah. Only students. Thank you, Doctor. Mike.
Your name and your area you came from. Asina, where from? Which part of state, ma? Tamil Nadu? Tirunamalai, great. பேசிக்கலாமா ஜாதி ஒழிப்பு என்பது வந்து நம்ம வந்து ஒரு பெரிய லாங் டேர்ம் அஜெண்டா வந்து இட் இஸ் அ டிசீஸ் ஆஃப் த மைண்ட் டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் சொல்வார். இட்ஸ் லைக் ரெண்டு செக்டரில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ நீங்கள் ஜப்பான்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதையோட மோசமான ஜாதி அடக்குமுறையில் இருந்தது. சாமுராயின்னு ஒரு ஜாதி இருக்கும், விவசாயிங்க ஒரு ஜாதி இருக்கும். சம்வேர் டவுன் த லைன் பீப்புள் வந்து அந்த ஜாதியை வந்து இழுக்குன்னு நினச்சி விட்டுட்டாங்க. they saw caste as an evil ஜப்பானில். ஸோ சப்மிட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக இப்போ ட்ரைனிங் ப்ரோக்ராம், எஜுகேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம், பொலிட்டிக்கல் டிஸ்பென்ஷன் எல்லாமே லெஜிஸ்லேஷன் ப்ராசஸ் வழியாக பண்ணோம். பட் ஜாதி வந்து சமூக ரீதியாக மக்கள் வந்து அது விடணும். என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அந்த ஜாதி விடுறதுக்கான கேட்டலிஸ்ட் ரோல் வந்து ஆர் ஜென்ரேஷன், நம்ம ஜென்ரேஷன். இப்போ ஒரு ப்ரிடாமினன்ட் மெஜாரிட்டி அண்ட் கேஸ்டில் பிறந்த ஒரு பசங்க இதே மாதிரி ஒரு லெவல் பிளேயிங் பிளாட்ஃபார்மில் இருக்காங்க. இப்போ இந்த லெவல் பிளேயிங் பிளாட்ஃபார்மை வந்து சோஷியல் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம் கொடுத்துரும். கரெக்டாக இல்லையா? வேர் ஆல் த பீப்புள் ஆஃப் வேரியஸ் கம்யூனிட்டிஸ் ஆர் சிட்டிங் டுகெதர் இன் ஒன் ஷேர் இயர், ரைட்டா? ஸோ அப்போ வந்து ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியை வந்து சோஷியல் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து கொடுக்குது. என்னோட மெடிக்கல் காலேஜஸில் நிறைய இன்டர்காஸ்ட் மேரேஜஸ் நடக்கும். எப்படி இன்டர்காஸ்ட் மேரேஜ் நடக்குதுன்னா, பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் அ லெவல் பிளேயிங் ஃபீல்டு கிரியேட்டட் டியூ டு ரிசர்வேஷன், ரைட்? ஸோ அந்த லெவல் பிளேயிங் ஃபீல்டுக்கு வந்துடும் போது கேஸ்ட் அசிமுலேஷன் நடக்குது, ரைட்? பட் ஆனால் அதே லெவலில் கேஸ்ட் அசிமுலேஷன் சேர்க்கிறது, கேஸ்ட் எகாமனியை தூக்கி போட்டு தான் சேர்றாங்க எல்லாரும் ஒன்றா. அதே மாதிரி சமேஷன் ஷுட் ஹேப்பன் அட் தி கிரவுண்ட் லெவல். இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சிவில் சொசைட்டி ரெஃபர்மேஷன் வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் தான் நிறைய பொலிட்டிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரகிள்ஸ் வின் ஆயிருக்கு. நம்ம ஊரில் சிவில் சொசைட்டி ரெஃபர்மேஷன் நடக்காமே பொலிட்டிக்கல் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகிப்போச்சு. நான் சொல்ல புரியுதா? இப்போ வந்து ஃப்ரான்ஸில் நடத்திவிட்டோம், இல்லைனா யூகேல இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை யூஎஸ்ஸாக இருக்கட்டும், சொசைட்டியில் ஒரு சிவில் சொசைட்டி ரெஃபர்மேஷன் நடந்த பிற்பாடு தான் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆயிருக்கு. இப்போ அவ்வளோ பேசுகிறோம் யூஎஸில், இன்னும் பிளாக் அப்பர் த்ரெட் நடந்துட்டு தான் இருக்குது. பட் பேசிக்கலி இட் இஸ் அ மல்டி ப்ராங் அப்ரோச் டு எராடிகேட் caste. ஸோ ஃப்ரம் வித்தின், ஃப்ரம் த கம்யூன், ஃப்ரம் த இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ். ஸோ எப்போல்லாம் நம்ம ஜாதியை வந்து ஜாதி பார்க்குற பார்வை, ஜாதி பாகுபாடை வந்து எப்போ அது அவமான சின்னமாக நடக்கிறோமோ, எப்போ நம்ம உள்ளதை அது அழுக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறோமோ, அப்போ தான் இராடிகேட் ஆகும். அதுக்கு பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கரோட டாக்குமெண்ட் ஆஃப் அனிலேஷன் ஆஃப் கேஸ்ட். அவர் அனிலேஷன் ஆஃப் கேஸ்ட் தான் சொல்ல தவிர ப்ரொமோஷன் ஆஃப் கேஸ்ட் பற்றி அவர் பேசவே இல்லை. அப்போ அனிலேஷன் ஆஃப் கேஸ்ட் பற்றி அவர் பேசும்போது ரெண்டு விஷயம் சொல்கிறாரு. கேஸ்ட்டை ஒழிக்கணும்னா முதல் உங்கள் சடங்கு முறைகள், சம்பிரதாய முறை ரிமூவ் பண்ணுங்கள். ஆர் நீங்கள் இருக்கிற இந்த செக்டோரல் காம்பனண்ட் ஆஃப் ரிலிஜனில் இருந்தால் கேஸ்ட் சஸ்டெயின் தான் ஆகும்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் ப்ரிஸ்கிரைப் புத்திசம். புத்திசம்னா என்ன? புத்திசம் சொன்னார். இந்த மூட நம்பிக்கையுள்ள புத்திசம் அவர் சொல்ல. அவர் நன்மையான புத்திசம் என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னா, ஏற்கனவே இந்த கல்ச்சுரல் மெமரி உங்களுக்கு இருக்குது, நான் சொன்னல கல்ச்சுரல் மெமரி இருக்குது, ஸோ வாங்க ஒரு சமத்துவமான மதத்தை நம்ம பின்பற்றுவோன்னு ப்ரிஸ்கிரைப் தட் டூரிங் இஸ் 10 years. பெரியார் என்ன சொன்னார் அதே ஆங்கிளில், இது தேவையே இல்லை, சயின்டிஃபிக் டெம்பர் உலகத்தில், சயின்ஸ் உள்ள உலகத்தில் வந்து ரிலிஜன் கான்செப்ட் எசென்ஷியலி தேவையில்லை, நீங்கள் அதை விட்டுட்டா உங்களுக்குள்ள டிஃப்ரென்சஸை விட்டுருவீங்கன்றார். இப்போ நான் ஒரு டாக்டர், நான் ஒரு சயின்டிஃபிக் டெம்பர் பர்சன், சார் நீங்கள் யாருன்னு கேட்டால் நான் ஒரு ஹோமோசாப்பியன்னு சொல்லுவேன், கரெக்டாக? நீங்கள் யாரு கேட்டால் நீங்கள் ஒரு ஹோமோசாப்பியன்னு சொல்லுவேன். அது எனக்கு சயின்ஸ் வந்து எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து சயின்ஸை நான் எதுக்கு பயன்படுத்துகிறேன்னா, பசங்கிட்ட உரையாடுறதுக்கு டூலாக பயன்படுத்துகிறேன். இப்போ எங்கள் அப்பா அம்மா நான் லவ் பண்ணேன்னா எனக்கு கடவுள் தேவைப்படுதா? இல்லை. நான் ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்டை ஒருத்தன் பிடிக்கணும்னா கடவுள் தேவைப்படுதா? இல்லை. ரோட்டில் யாராவது விழுறாங்களா, அவனை காப்பாற்ற போனால் கடவுள் தேவைப்படுறதா? இல்லை. அப்போ நீங்கள் மதத்தின் பெயரால் ஒரு ஜாதி அடக்குமுறையை சஸ்டெயின்டாக நீங்கள் கேம்பெயின் பண்ணும்போது ஃபல்க்ரமை எராடிகேட் பண்ணுறது பெரியாரோட அப்ரோச். என் மக்கள் ரொம்ப விளிம்பு நிலையில் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு ஹோப் வேணும், அவங்க வந்து நீங்கள் நினைக்கிற மாதிரி சயின்டிஃபிக் டெம்பர்லாம் காமன் மேனுக்கு சொல்ல முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லி தான் அம்பேத்கர் வந்து அனிலேஷன் ஆஃப் கேஸ்ட் கொடுத்ததுக்கப்புறம் ப்ரிஸ்கிரைப் புத்திசம். ஸோ அப்போ நம்ம ஸ்பேஸ் லாங் வே டு ரன் இன் சோஷியல் கல்ச்சுரல் ஸ்பேஸ். அந்த அந்த அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட்டில் நானும் உங்களோட சகத்தோழன்றேன். சார் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் சார், நீங்கள் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டாக போயிடுறீங்களா? இப்போ இருக்கிற தலைமுறைகளை கொண்டு போய்லாம் சேர்க்க முடியாது, அவங்க படித்தாதான் உண்டு. இல்லை சிம்பிள், இப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து அதான் பெரிய பிரச்சனையே தான், என்ன கொண்டு போய் சேர்க்கறதுன்னு. அவங்க படிக்க மாட்டாங்களா? யூ ஆர் அண்டர் எஸ்டிமேட்டிங் த ப்ரெசன்ட் ஜென், ரைட்டா? நீங்கள் முதல்ல அப்டேட் ஆகுங்க. அதாவது நம்ம பழைய ஜென்ரேஷன் என்னன்னா, மைக்கு பிடிச்சி லெக்சர் போட்டு நான் சொன்னால் நீ கேளுன்ற ஆட்டிடியூட் நம்ம உடைக்கணும். அதனால தான் இந்த இன்ட்ராக்டிவ் செஷனே வைக்கிறேன் ப்ரிடாமினெட்லி. தே ஆர் கேஜெட் ஜென்ரேஷன். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து கொண்டு போய் சேர்க்குது, தேடல் அவங்க கொண்டு போய் சேர்க்குது. நான் வந்து இங்கே வந்து பிரச்சாரத்தை திணிக்க வரல, ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ஓப்பன் த டோர் ஃபார் தெம். இப்போ நாளைக்கு அவங்க ஒரு புக் ஸ்டோர் போனாங்கன்னா, புக் ஸ்டோர் போகும்போது பெரியாரை பற்றி பார்க்குறாங்க, டிராவிடியன் டாக்டர் ஏதோ பேசினாரு, என்ன தான் படிப்போம், பெனட்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. யாராவது நாளைக்கு ஒரு யூடியூப் வீடியோ போய் பார்த்தாங்களா, ஒரு இன்ஸ்டா ரீல் தள்ளும் போது யாராவது ஜாதி ஒழிப்பை பற்றி பேசினாங்களா, இந்த முறையில ஜாதி ஒழிக்கலாம் போல இருக்குன்னு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ யூ ஷுட் ஆல்வேஸ் மேக் திஸ் ஜென்ரேஷன் டு டில்ட். இந்த பார்வையில் கொஞ்சம் பார்ப்பான்னு டில்ட் பண்ணால் போதும். இதே நம்ம அப்பா அம்மா ஜென்ரேஷன், தாத்தா பாட்டி ஜென்ரேஷனில் வந்து என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் கிடையாது, பப்ளிக் மீட்டிங்ஸ் தான் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட். காலையில் 6 மணிக்கு விவசாயம் பண்ணிட்டு 12 மணிக்கு வீட்டுக்கு வருவாங்க, ஈவினிங் பொதுக்கூட்டம் நடக்கும், அங்கே ராமாயண மகாபாரத கலாச்சாரம் நடக்கும், இன்னும் இடத்துல திராவிட கழகம் பொது மீட்டிங் நடக்கும். தேவ் ஆப்ஷன் டு போத். இப்போ நீங்கள் க்ரௌடை வந்து ஒரு உட்கார வச்சு அவங்க லெக்சர் கொடுக்குற கேட்குற ஓரியன்டேஷனில் அவங்க அட்டென்ஷன் ஸ்பேனே 20 மினிட்ஸ் தான். நீங்கள் அந்த 20 மினிட்ஸ் அட்டென்ஷன் ஸ்பேனில் நீங்கள் என்ன சொல்லணும்னா, அவங்களோட நெரேட்டிவ்னு ஒன்று இருக்குது, அதை உங்களுக்கு பேச தெரிலன்னு சொல்லுங்கள். அவங்க லாங்குவேஜ் பேச தெரிலன்னு சொன்னால் நான் ஒத்துப்பேன். அவங்க கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, இந்த ஜென்ரேஷன் வந்து அதை திருப்பி இதாகிடுறாங்க, எல்லாம் கிடையாது. நீங்கள் அவங்க லாங்குவேஜ் பேச உங்களுக்கு தெரியல. ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஹை டைம் தட் ஆல் த ரூலிங் டிஸ்பென்சேஷன் ஆர் லெக்சர்ஸ் ஆர்கனைசேஷன், தேர்ஸ் அ நெரேட்டிவ். இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸையும் சொல்கிறேன், தேர்ஸ் அ நெரேட்டிவ் வித் அவர் யூத் வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். கைண்ட்லி update that narrative. If you're not updating narrative, they won't listen.
Thank you, sir.
We'll move on to the next session. Hey, I'll put the book in.
To lecture celebrating 125 years of a self-respect movement, about organization capacity to bringing the best minds to present before the various discourses in Dravidian ethos, both in social study of Madras University for 30 years. And such a historical institution, Madras University. Then I had my medical school, around 350 years legacy, hold Madras Medical College. My UG and PG courses were there. So naturally it was very neighborhood campuses, because once our Madras Medical College was affiliated to Madras University. So the campus synonymousness as well as father and son relationship was also strong. So I feel a sense of home being in Madras University. Saying so, coming to a common denominator, Professor Naganathan, social and political trajectory as an economics professor, and myself being a practicing physician as well as a member of Legislative Assembly, what brought us into this fray of Dravidian ethos is because it's a crux of the topic, political trajectory. Olivanan sir and Kaliselvaman has given me a very controversial topic for that matter, to speak about politics among college students, and it will be the most relevant topic today. Friends, let me start with a quote. It's of time and said. We have listened to this quote again and again, but I find its immense relevance. It was Aringaranna's maiden speech in Rajya Sabha, where the first words, a man belonged to a party fighting for independent Dravidian land, Dravidian homeland. In the root of electoral processes or the constitutional mechanism of the Indian Constitution, he has been elected as a Rajya Sabha member within the framework of the Indian Union, representing a party at that point of time for a Dravidian southern land. He starts his maiden speech. He says, I claim, sir, to come from a country apart in India now. To mark the words, I come from a country apart in India now, but which I think it is of a different stock. Not necessarily antagonistic. Not necessarily antagonistic. I belong to the Dravidian stock. I'm proud to call myself a Dravidian. That does not mean
just to store water and other food materials during that time. அதனால நமக்கு அப்படி இருக்கு. Why long eyelashes, desert sand and desert dust. அது எல்லாத்துலேருந்தும் பாதுகாக்கிறதுக்காக தான் இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. Which are all very very special. எல்லாம் ஸ்பெஷலாக இருக்கு. ஒரு